1 in 5 Canadians suffer from chronic pain on a daily basis. Treating it costs more than treating cancer, heart disease, and HIV combined. That's astounding. Jean-Yves Dionne is a pharmacist and scientific advisor who has studied complementary and alternative techniques to relieve chronic pain. It is my pleasure to welcome Jean-Yves Dionne back to Studio 4 to tell us more. Nice to see you.
Well, my pleasure.
And oh, so healthy this looks.
It is. It's not cooked and as beautiful as the one before, but it's the same
That's
principle.
okay. We know what to do with it.
Yes.
What does this have to do with chronic pain?
The idea is that you have to look before you've had any accident or arthrosis or osteoarthritis, whatever cause you have.
Right.
Your system has a healing capacity that has been lost somewhere.
Right.
So we'll talk about alkaline acid base balance. That's one thing. So the
Okay.
more greens you have in your food, the less animal product you have in your daily diet, the more alkaline you are, so the more able you are to get rid of toxins.
So an alkaline body likes to heal itself.
Better.
Is that true?
That's totally true. So that's one thing. There are certain foods that you may be sensitive to. You said in the first segment that gluten is the fad right now, gluten-free. Actually, it goes farther than that. There's a lot of people that are sensitive to gluten. I'm one of those.
Okay, and what is gluten exactly?
Gluten is the protein that you find in wheat, in rye, in other grains, but not so many grains because every grain has a form of gliadin, which is the family of gluten. But gluten is a stronger, bigger protein that is hard to digest. And in today's society, when we've all had antibiotic, stress, alcohol, food additives, our inside of the GI, the lining becomes permeable. We call that leaky gut syndrome.
Okay.
And you start to absorb fragments of those proteins that you haven't digested totally. And then your body reacts to that with inflammation. And that's
And
where it starts.
regurgitation or just information, inflammation?
Information. That's
Okay.
why we're sick, too much information.
Exactly.
Actually, it's in the system. It's not in the GI.
Okay.
It has been absorbed, and then you react with antibodies, and then you make a complex, and you stock this complex in various organs, that it be joints, skin. So joints will lead you to arthritis. Skin will lead you to psoriasis. So that's the root cause. Inflammation caused by food sensitivity due to GI leaky gut
Okay,
syndrome.
so does that mean don't eat so many grains or just don't eat certain grains, or how do you translate it?
The problem in translating that into general terms is that it's a case by case. You may not be sensitive to,
Right.
to gluten.
At all.
I am. So it depends on what food. So the best thing to do is to do either an elimination diet where you take one of the major culprits, that it be gluten from grains, casein from dairy products, or albumin from eggs. And usually the best culprit is the one you eat the most.
Because you crave it.
Bingo.
Yes.
There you are. So once you eliminate that for a few weeks, see how you feel.
Okay.
Take
'cause-
it, keep a diary, how you feel, what you eat, and then after 2 or 3 weeks, reintroduce a massive amount of whatever the culprit you chose. So if it's gluten, try for, I don't know, a major sandwich with 3 layers, and then you'll see how you feel. If you have exacerbations, it's worse after that, in this 4 to 6 hours after you've eaten, that's the culprit. Get rid of
Okay,
that
get
for
rid of
at
it,
least
because
6 months.
They say about food allergies is the very food you could be allergic to is the food you want. So if you crave the pastas and the breads and all of that,
That's exactly it.
try and eliminate those from your diet to see if you feel better.
See, that's exactly it. And then try to increase what will help your body get rid of toxins. We're talking about greens here. You have chard, you have broccoli. Those
Avocado.
The avocado, it's a green, but it's not a green in the sense that it has good fats and also has what we call unsaponifiable. It's a tongue
Really?
twister.
Easy for you to say.
I worked on it, don't worry.
It's a fruit, isn't it? An
It-
avocado?
Yeah, but the oil in there, same as the soy oil, contains, as long as it's not GMO, contains a group of compounds we call unsaponifiable, and those are anti-inflammatory and will also help your body heal your joints.
Okay, so if you have arthritis,
That's it.
osteo, chronic pain, you have inflamed joints, inflamed anything, if you have asthma,
There-
what foods?
Look, well, there's a
are best?
you can Google anti-inflammatory diet.
Okay.
That will get you to either Dr. Weil's diet or other sites for that. And you will find that if you have inflammation, and that it be heart disease, asthma, joint disease, skin disease, they're all based in inflammation.
Gout?
gout, but gout has something, we used to say it's because of purines and proteins, so don't eat any sweet meat, don't drink alcohol. And then these days we find that it's more a sugar disease linked with fructose.
How interesting.
So any source of fructose will increase the amount of uric acid in your bloodstream, and you'll lodge it in your culprit joint, that'd be your fingers or your toe, and then it hurts.
Stay away from the sugar.
The fructose.
Okay, now the soy issue, it's controversial. Some people say soy is good for you, some people say not so good for you. What do you say?
We agree on one thing. GMO soy is allergenic.
Okay, so
We know
stay
that.
away from that.
Stay away
That's
from that.
genetically modified soy.
And the protein is allergenic, that we know. But 95% of the soy here in North America is GMO. So that's one other thing, go for organic as much as you can. The controversy is because it contains phytoestrogen. But the word is a misnomer. It's not an estrogen, because if it was an estrogen, the whole Asian continent would be sterile. It's not true. It's a compound that does have an affinity to the estrogen receptor, but it's not a stimulant, so it will not cause hormone imbalance. It will actually prevent hormone imbalance due to hormone disruptors such as plastic, BPA, remember last year?
Yes, of course. Still this year. They've done studies on BPA, people who eat too many soups from the wrong cans.
That's it. And the fire retardants in the cloth.
Sure.
That also is a hormone disruptor. And phytoestrogen will help dislodge those culprits.
All right. And we talked about estrogen overload yesterday with Lorna Vanderhaeg, like too much estrogen for men and for women. Not good.
Yeah, and synthetic one coming from plastic, pesticides, fire retardants, those are the worst culprits ever.
Okay, so if your back aches, if your elbow aches, if your knees ache, if you wake up and you ache.
I know.
And are always aching. Berries?
Berries, any blue pigments, any colorful food contains antioxidants, anthocyanins, and those help your body fight off the same toxin, the free radicals, and help your body.
Okay, supplements?
Yeah,
vitamins?
omega-3s, fish oils. If you want to lessen inflammation, fish oils is your best friend as a systemic thing, but you need a higher dose. It's not a few milligrams. You need 3,000 milligrams daily to lower measurably the inflammation.
Minerals?
Minerals, we'll talk about magnesium
dirt.
mostly. Dirt. But they're also, that's why I brought these three, because there has been research on several things. Egg, that's why they're here.
Right.
There's a lining between the shell and the egg white, natural eggshell membrane, and that has been shown in clinical studies to help your body recover and rebuild cartilage and healthier joints.
Really?
And the relief of symptoms starts with about 7 days, which is wonderful. Avocado and soy, as I talked about, unsaponifiable. These actually together were as a prescription medication in France in 1978. Now you can get that today in a product like Arthritis Relief with the same eggshell membrane. And that also is clinically documented within 3 years to improve the density and the depth of your cartilage in your joints. So if you have a joint issue, you want to use something to help your body repair. First the diet, then the supplements.
And sometimes the exercise, because they used to say don't move, and now
And
they
then
say
you
if your back
freeze
hurts,
over.
move.
That's it. You need to move, but you need to have stretching and special exercise. Don't go jogging if your knees
Right,
hurt.
that makes sense.
And if you have an acute pain, I mean really acute, backache, like just jam, it flares up, then you go for anti-inflammatory herbs. You may go for pharmaceuticals, Advils and such. You go for a muscle relaxant, but that gets you drowsy or irritates your stomach. There are herbs that will do that, like devil's claw and willow bark are as effective.
Willow bark's what aspirin's made from.
Made from,
it?
but it's not in the willow bark.
No.
It's derived from.
Right,
It's
it comes from the willow bark,
That's
right?
it. It's the oldest drug on the market. Was marketed in 1895. So that's more than 110 years ago.
Yeah, what the shamans know.
Exactly.
What the shamans know. And pineapple good for us too?
Well, the enzymes in the pineapple, the bromelain, helps break down the swelling part, allows you to lower the swelling.
You're
and the
talking
pain.
fresh pineapple.
Yeah, if it's cooked, it doesn't work. Or it's the extract. You can use the bromelain
plan.
as a supplement, like with this one, or any proteolytic enzyme, bromelain, papain, whichever, will help your body drain off the swelling.
Oh, nice to see you again.
My pleasure.
Come back, I always learn so much.
I love it.
Thank you.